Today we're taking a look at Lesson 32 on polygons. Now, polygons are a specific kind of shape that we're going to be talking about for this lesson. But before we actually get into that, we need to just do a couple basic reviews. The first thing that you have to be reminded of is the fact that any flat surface is part of a plane. Now I've drawn a large black square, but if you can think of this as a flat surface that continues moving in this direction, and this direction, and this direction, and this direction. So it's not just a square, it's everything that would be in a flat line with that square. That is called a plane. Now, the plane is the flat surface that moves out without end and extends beyond the walls or the limits that are drawn. Now, when we talk about a plane, we're going to be talking about shapes that go on a plane. Now, you have to understand that we're not talking three-dimensional. That flat shape that I have here is flat. You can't see the sides of it, you can't see the back of it, you can't see the top and the bottom. It is flat and continues out in all directions. Now, once you have a plane, flat shapes can go on a plane. Those flat shapes are called polygons. Now, we're going to look at the word polygon and we're going to give it a definition that has three parts to it. If you can remember all three parts, you'll remember all of the elements that are needed to have a polygon. First of all, it has to be a flat shape. Again, that means it is not three-dimensional. It is flat. Now, the next element of a polygon, it has to be made of line segments. Now, that means that it's going to have flat sides. So I would ask you, is a circle a polygon? By this definition, it is flat, but it is not made of line segments because it's got the curve to it. Now, the third part of the definition, it means is like the final piece to the puzzle. It's a flat shape made of line segments closing in an area. Closing in an area. So, for example, if I drew you a shape that looked like this, is it a polygon? No, because it's not made of line segments. How about this? Is it a polygon? No, it is made of line segments. It is flat, but it doesn't close in an area. Now, if I add this and this, do I have a polygon? I certainly do, because it is flat, it is made of line segments, and it is closing in an area. So those three definitions, three parts of the definition are important to remember for a polygon. And again, just to make sure we're all on the right page, this would not be considered a polygon. It's flat, and it is made of line segments, but it doesn't close in an area. How about this one? No, it is not, because it is made of some line segments, but these are not line segments when they are curved. It does close in the area. And how about this one? Is this shape a polygon? I hope you said, like, this one was not, and this one was not, this one is not. Can you tell me why? because it is not a flat shape. It's got dimension to it. It's got height. It's got depth. All of those things mean that it's not able to be a polygon. Now, the line segments on a polygon are called sides, and the points where they meet are called a vertex, or if you have more than one of them, they're vertices. So this would be a side and a side and a side. And then wherever sides meet, you have a vertex, or again, if there's more than one of them, it would be a vertices. So this is a vertex, and up here another vertex, and over here a third vertex. So you can see that a triangle is a polygon that has 3 sides and 3 vertices. So 3 and 3. You're going to have about the same number as you see as we go through these examples. The sides and the vertex number will usually be the same. Okay, what you see in front of you is a list of polygons, and they are all named by the number of sides they have. These are just some of the more common names. It is not all of the polygons. I will tell you during this page you're probably going to need to pause a couple times just to make sure you have all of the information down. Now, some of them you're going to be pretty familiar with. For example, the triangle has 3 sides. The quadrilateral, quad means 4, so the quadrilateral has 4 sides. Now, that can be a square, that can be a rectangle, that can be a parallelogram, a trapezoid. We'll talk about those later, but all of those will have 4 sides, so they're all going to be classified as quadrilaterals. Well, if you're thinking, you know that a pentagon would be up one from that, and a pentagon has 5 sides. Now, you can draw it other ways. The house is the easiest way to draw it with the 5 sides. The hexagon would have 6 sides. And the heptagon, which has, oops, sorry about that. Let's get back to a pen. The heptagon, which has 7 sides. 1, 2, 3. And like I said, some of these are a little more challenging for me to draw. 4, 5, 6, 7. Kind of close. You can see I'll mark them for you just so you can see them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I don't like those very much. Octagons would have 8 sides. These are a little bit easier to draw. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That shape should look familiar to you as a stop sign. So there we have an octagon. Now, a decagon is kind of neat. It has 10 sides, but they can be all over the place. So I can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So long as I have 10 sides, I've got a decagon. And a dodecagon is 12 sides. This one is another shape that should probably look familiar. Again, you might need to have paused during this screen. That way you can make sure you have all of your shapes drawn out correctly. All right, it seems like a lot of information, but we're almost done. 2 last words are congruent similar. Now, these two are very important that you can understand the difference between them. Congruent is same size, same shape. They have to be exactly, so if I have a triangle that looks like this, a congruent triangle would look exactly the same way. It's the same size and the same shape. Now, the difference with that is similar, which has just the shape. Same shape. So, similar triangles, you could have this and this, and those two would be considered similar. They're not congruent. Congruent has to have same size, same shape. Similar has to just be same shape. So if you can remember that, you will have no problem. Similar, they're kind of the same.